Hello guys, and welcome to a new WARNO video today by me, Vulcan. Today I have for you the fourth of the quarterfinals from the WARNO opening tournament run by the Simulated Divisions League. This one is going to be played between Yuri Tanner and Solo Wing Pixy, and they are once again playing on two ways. On our left in the red team we do have Tanner, who's going to be using the 3rd Armoured on the NATO side, and in the blue we have Pixy, who's going to also be using the 3rd Armoured on the NATO side. So currently in the tournament, Karma is the only one left who's playing with the Soviets, and he managed to get through the semi-final, so we'll be able to see another game with the Soviets in it at least in this tournament. But for now, it's another NATO versus NATO matchup, so let's have a look at some of these troops going down. On the side of Pixy, we do have the M113 ACAVs going down at the start. He's going to be having one for the top and bottom road. Then for his top, he has 2 military police, make that 3 military police with the M67s, and he's got a jeep in there as well, which he's hiding in between these buildings, which is a nice spot to put it. Then on the bottom side, this looks like where he's going to be punching most of his weight. He's got the Apaches with the rockets there, with the OH-58 Scout. Then he's got a bunch of these military police with the M67s. He's going to be following that with 2 mechanized rifles, an M1A1 HA Abrams, an OH-58 CS, which is the air-to-air helicopter, and another jeep in there as well, which is again going to be hidden in the sort of farmhouse area there. So that's going to be Pixie's forces. And on the side of Tanner, we're going to be seeing the engineers with flash rockets early on with the Stinger C, and then he's got a command jeep in his base, and then on the bottom side another command jeep in the town, 2 M1A1 HA Abrams. These are actually 3 vet off the bat. Okay, that's kind of crazy. I think you can get like 2 on a card at like normal veterancy, or like a 2 vet, so having them in at 3 vet is quite significant. That's a big investment into those tanks early on. Then he's got the Stinger C there with the Fireteam Dragon in the Bradley IFV. On the bottom side, it's going to be the military police with the engineers and the Stinger C. So investing a lot into these engineers early. Are these engineers going to be pushing aggressively? It looks like it. Yeah, it looks like those engineers are going to be trying to go into the opposing town and try and get some pressure onto Pixie's Foxtrot early on. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, I assume those engineers with flash rockets are probably going to be more defensive. Yeah, they're going to be stopping short in his town. Okay, interesting. But of course, Pixie coming in hot here with the double Apache start, and then all of this infantry probably going to be pushing straight into Alpha if we can. Tanner is going to be getting this Black Hawk to go around the bottom side of the map. Probably going to be looking for some sort of flanking attempt later in the game. He could also just kind of unload this like down here, for example, and have it next to the road to ambush units that go by. But using that to scout around in the back line is also a good idea. Here we go, the Apache's moving up. There is a Stinger here, so these Apaches will need to be a little bit careful. The rocket's going to be going for the M35, but the M35's too fast. Did you see that? It was like outrunning the rockets. Incredible. And the Stinger firing away. Oh, it's going to get taken out by the 30mm. The 30mm doing a lot of damage there to that infantry squad. Rocket's going to be swung towards the M35 as well. Mechanized rifle finish off the military police there, and Solo Wing Pixie picks up an early advantage in this town. Meanwhile, on the top side, 2 of the flash units did get into position, but the military police going to be forcing them back for the time being. It looks like these military police, yeah, the M16s have got the job done, and with the help of the M113A3 ACAV, they're going to be taken out. The nice thing about that ACAV is it cannot be killed by that the engineers with flash there. Bringing in the engineers with the flash launcher at the start is really something that is quite risky to do, because they're like a support unit, and they can't really defend themselves against armor. So in this case, you can see like the recon unit, like the armored recon units, can quite easily take them out, even if they get into a good position in the first place. And these Apaches just coming across there and absolutely destroying them, giving Tanner a very, very hard time. His M35 going to be trying to get back to the spawn to sell it to get a few points back. These M35s, they don't cost much, but getting 15 points back does help you get that little bit extra that you might need to buy your next unit. Either way, the Black Hawk has landed here with the arrow rifles. You see they're just kind of chilling for the time being. Probably going to head towards Hotel once this gets captured so that he can take out the command unit there. But currently +2 for Tanner, since he does control Golf and Charlie, as well as obviously Echo and Bravo. But the Apaches, they're coming over to the center. There's nothing been brought in yet to deal with these, which I'm quite surprised by. Like, he does have the... Well, actually, never mind. That's Pixie's Kiowa and OH-58. Tanner should probably have the OH-58 somewhere, and they would be the ideal thing you'd want to use to take care of these Apaches. But Charlie CV is going to go down, so good job by Pixie there just to exploit a hole in his opponent's defense. A lot of infantry coming in here. Look at all of these new engineers coming in. A very high reliance on these engineers with flash launchers so far. I think the best use for these engineers is with the flash launchers is to use them in combination with other units that have a lot of guns. So, for example, the engineers with dragons, where they have 10 M16s, because those actually do a lot of damage. But oh, nice kill there onto the Abrams. It gets taken out. What killed that? Was that the M67? I think it might have been. The recoilless rifle? No, that hasn't even fired. Oh, it was this one. Never mind. Yeah, it was the M67s. Good old recoilless rifles. This M1A1 tanking all the rocket shots that it can to the front armor, but the Hellfire, that's going to be launching soon, and that's going to really start hurting. Yep, the Abrams there routed, and the 30 mils get the job done in the rear armor. Nice. So Pixie picking off the heavy tanks as well. That's both of the M1A1HA Abrams, the elite M1A1HA Abrams that were brought in from the start. So Tanner's lost those. He's lost his CVs. Pixie has lost his own Abrams on this bottom side and is probably going to lose these mechanized rifles to the abundance of infantry here. But I would say overall, Pixie had a fantastic start with these two Apaches. He really, really has. Again, the rockets coming in. When those 30 mils start firing away onto the infantry squads, it is absolutely deadly. Stinger gets one shot off. Taking a while to reload though. Stinger goes down. Unfortunately, there's just one problem with those Stingers right now, is they take so long to reload. And these Apaches do have that front armor, which allows them to tank a decent number of shots. So the Apache's really just making short work of everything on the backside of this town. And now Pixie's going to take the time to bring in some more reinforcements here. Oh, nice kill there. The arrow rifles doing exactly what they need to do. Take out the commands in the backside. Good job. There is now the Black Hawk. Where's that going to go? Is he going to send that towards the base? And with just the machine guns, it's not going to be too great. It looks like the Jeep's going to get taken out there as well. Stopping some of those transports from getting back to be sold is one way to hamper your opponent's income, that's for sure. More Apaches with these rockets in the center. Looks like Pixie's really making great use of these. What Tanner really needs is just to bring in plenty of Stingers and plenty of Chaparrals. Both of those would be the things that you need in tandem to take down the Apaches. And if he doesn't have any recon for the Apaches, the Stingers can go down very fast. Or, sorry, the Apaches can go down very fast because of the Stingers being hidden in the trees and so on. So that's kind of what he needs to do. He has also brought over PVADs. PVADs currently at the moment aren't terribly great in the game. They need to be buffed a little bit for sure. But they can do damage over time, and they will pick off helicopters that are already like low on health, so there is that as well. It looks like Tanner there pinging the Apaches so that he can see where they are. Has he brought in some sort of artillery? No, but he has brought in loads of stingers. You can see further back. He's brought in stingers to protect his CVs this time around. And yeah, I mean, things are stabilizing a little bit because it looks like Pixy kind of backed off with his Apaches due to them like lacking rockets and ammunition. But he's coming back now with the Apaches on this bottom side, and maybe he'll be able to do some more damage. But at the moment, yeah, the +2 advantage in favour of Pixy because he's contesting Alpha. Neither player is currently capturing the centre of the map. The military police here, there's a lot of military police here with these jeeps. They're actually getting the better of these mechanised rifles. These poor chaps getting taken out. Yep, mown down. These mechanised rifles aren't cheap. 70 points a pop. And they're getting killed off by 25-point military police, which come in with their 25-point jeep. So, nicely done. Good value for sure. Apaches look like they wrecked this bottom side. Both of the Apaches there still alive, I think. Yep. And they've managed to completely push off this bottom side. Oh, those engineers rocketed in the face. The M67 takes out the Bradley here. Well, A10 coming in with the bombs. Ooh. Haven't seen the A10 with the bombs. I guess the A10 with the bombs is actually a pretty good choice for taking down enemy helicopters at the moment, now I think about it. Because the 30mm Avenger is really, really good for just ripping through the HP of helicopters. And then it also has 2 infrared AA anyway. Well, that bombing strike did the job. Nice. Kills off that CV unit. And now we can maybe potentially use that on the bottom side to kill off his Apache. That'd be good. Maybe go for the OH-58 in the center there. It could definitely tank the AA shots from that OH. Because just like the Apache, the A10 has armor. But in the case of the A10, it actually has 2 front armor. So it tanks even more damage from AA pieces. But more military police being zoomed into this town. Not really much coming back on the side of Tanner. He has now invested in 2 mechanized rifles. These are, of course, quite expensive, though, so that's probably why he had to wait to bring them in. And he's bringing in another engineer. So this is what I would have liked to have seen earlier on, is like the mechanized rifles plus engineers, if he's going to bring in engineers at the start. But the meta really seems at the moment to bring in like a lot of the military police at the start, because the military police are much better value for money overall than a lot of the other forces in the game right now. And the A10 was going to go in for the strafing run there, but it looks like it was evac'd. Maybe it ran out of fuel. It was hanging around for quite a while. AH-64 getting some more rockets down onto these transports. Both of the mechanized rifles forced to unload there. M577 CPC is going to want to get into this sector sooner than later, because currently it is a +4 in the favour of Pixy, which is not good. It's going to be over anytime soon. Tanner could also focus on maybe solidifying Delta in order to capture that, but it looks like Pixie's now YOLOing in with an M1A1HA here as well, although that might take a side shot from the Dragon. It did. Thankfully, the Dragon's not the biggest damage in the world, so let's just about get away with that. It could have been very bad. The 2 mechanized rifles moving up there. We've now got an attack moving up the hill. The jeeps moving forwards with the Apaches. So what Solo Wing Pixie's probably going to do here is going to use the jeeps to figure out where the enemy units are and give targets basically for the Apaches to shoot at. Well, there's now 2 chaparrals up on this hill though, so they're going to be ready to shoot down these Apaches, hopefully. There we go. Oh, that's a lot of rockets though. Oh my. Oh, he takes down 2 of them. Can he take down the other? No, the Apache gets the job done. Oh my, that was pretty awesome, wasn't it? When the chaparral shot down 2 of them with the 1 shot there, that was really awesome. Yeah, this Apache still got 2 left, and the 30mm shooting down the Black Hawk. That sounded awesome. That But the sound effects never cease to amaze me in this game. Mechanized rifles trying to push their way up onto the opposing mechanized rifles. But being chunked in the open for sure. With these mechanized rifles in cover, they do have an advantage, but that doesn't really matter because it's the end of the game. Pixy is going to be victorious with his initial engagements. It did just really catch Tanner off guard with the Apache's rockets, and it's unfortunate to see because I feel like the Apache's rockets is something that people should expect at this stage in the tournament. Of course, this is the quarterfinals, and they already played like 3 rounds before this, so you'd expect that you would have seen that already. Like, everybody knows that they're very strong at the moment in this build. They are obviously going to be balanced. It is, of course, early access, so things will be balanced as we go on. But yeah, it's a shame that Tanner didn't really invest in more stingers early on, because that definitely would have helped him out and helped him save a lot of his units. Also, maybe just a couple of chaparrals would have been great early on, because they're not exactly expensive. You know, they're actually pretty cheap. I think they're like 50 points a piece. So get a couple of chaparrals on the table, and those Apaches go down pretty fast. The rocket Apaches, when they get in range. Yeah. Anyway, some nice engagements here early on. The military police really kind of stole the show, though. The M3A1 Bradley did all right there for Tanner, but check out this rocket Apache. Oh my. Is that the rocket Apache? Yeah, it is. Got 2 M1A1HA Abram kills. They just weren't supported with AA at all. And then later on, they killed the Stinger C and the Chaparral. Well, that was the Stinger C on the bottom side. I think both of these were on the bottom side. And then the M48 Chaparral there was the one that we saw on the hill get killed at the end. But yeah, I think the M1A1HA Abrams here, the 3 vet ones that were brought in early, weren't supported at all by AA, which is really, really, well, it's a bit of a rookie mistake, really. Definitely make sure you bring in AA if you're bringing in heavy tanks at the start. You need to do it. It's very important. This standard Apache also did pretty well. Yeah, the Apache and the military police is pretty much all it is. And then the M1A1 coming up the rear there. All right, well, there you go. 2,545 kills to 1,530 losses. Congratulations to Pixy. Definitely a very good player. He's going to be moving on to the semi-finals. And Tanner is going to be knocked out. So commiserations to him. But nice try there. Just needs to really make sure that he's got that AA in the current build of the game. I think obviously AA needs to remain important throughout, well, basically when the game comes out as well. It's not like AA isn't, well, shouldn't be important. It's just that at the moment it's more important than usual. And having none of it means you get punished even harder than even if you had just a little bit. So yeah, get the chaparrals in, get the stingers in, make sure to do that. But either way, that's it for this game. We'll be moving on to the semi-finals. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.